The pandemic reinforced for me some things I already knew, and that is self-serving things aren't necessary. If I'm doing something that only benefits me, it's not essential. Dr. Wayne W. Dyer said, if you want to find your true purpose in life, your purpose will only be found in service to others and in being connected to something far greater than your body, mind, and ego. And that's what I feel God has me here today to tell you, each and every one of you, that you're necessary. The reason you're necessary is because with the certification that you have worked for, the certification that you have earned, the certification that you are leaving here with today, it's equipping you to go out into the world and serve. Not just serve anybody though, but to serve us. Us being black people. I don't have to tell y'all how many public servants came out of HBCUs. I don't have to tell you what HBCUs mean to the black community. From law to politics, arts to athletics, civil rights to science, HBCU graduates and their contributions are absolutely necessary to the prosperity of the black community. Always have been, always will be. But I have to tell you all something. The same way I'm letting you all know how necessary you are as humans, I want to tell you why it's necessary moving forward that all of you pour back into the black community. You have to be unapologetically about your people, because when I look around this stadium, I see the change that the black community has been waiting on. Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, guess what? Y'all them steppers, bro. Big steppers, okay? And each and every one of you has to be intentional about stepping out into this world to continue the process of making something of yourselves so you can pour back into the community that has poured into you. I want to tell y'all a story about a man who inspired me. His name is Denmark Vesey. And Denmark was born into slavery in St. Thomas. He was brought to Charleston, South Carolina. And in 1799, he won $1,500 in a lottery. That was the stimulus check at the time. And, you know, what did Denmark do with that stimmy? Well, he damn sure didn't go buy no crab legs, okay? He went and bought his freedom for $600. That would be almost 13 grand in 2021. But even though he was able to buy his freedom, he could not afford to purchase the freedom of his wife and his children. So he was living in Charleston, South Carolina, making a good living as a carpenter, but he was never satisfied with his own condition. He was never satisfied with being free because all his children and his wife were still enslaved. So he always wished to see what could be done for them. Not just them, though. Other black people who are in bondage, other black people who are enslaved. See, it would have been easy for Denmark to turn his back on his people. He was a free man. He was wealthy. He enjoyed all the comforts that a free black man in that time could enjoy, but Denmark knew what some black people who achieve success in this white supremacist system know, and what too many black people who achieve success in this white supremacist system forget, and that's none of us are free until we all are free. But Denmark did something that a lot of black people don't do when we get in certain positions, and that's devise a plan to liberate those of us in our communities who haven't had the opportunities or who may not have the resources to liberate themselves. Denmark knew that he was living well, but other black people in that time, right in Charleston, South Carolina, were not. See, he wasn't concerned with anything self-serving. He knew his purpose came in service to others, and he organized and led what potentially would have been one of the biggest slave revolts in American history. You see, what Denmark planned to do was kill the slaveholders in Charleston, liberate the slaves, and sail to the Black Republic of Haiti for refuge. Why am I telling y'all this story? Because Denmark Vesey was a black person, just like all of you, who was necessary. And even though he had achieved more than other black people at that time, even though he was in a better position than other black people during that time, he couldn't enjoy any of it because he knew that there were other black people still in bondage who hadn't received the opportunity to liberate themselves that he did. So he decided to take matters in his own hands and go back and free those who didn't have the opportunity to free themselves. That's why I say everybody here is necessary, because y'all have to have the spirit of Denmark Vesey in you. And when you go out into the world with your degree and you get into these spaces, you have to take what you have learned and will learn back to the communities you come from and free those still in bondage. Now, know that in doing this, it's going to be